Taking a look at some of the top stories that we're following right now, we're following breaking news out of Cobb County right now. Here's some footage captured from the scene at the Cumberland Mall, where multiple arrests have been made following a fight there. So multiple units actually responded to the Cumberland Mall after a 911 call was received by the call center. This is according to Cobb County Police. And initially it came in as reports of a possible active shooter. Well, thankfully, upon arriving, officers found that there was a large physical altercation, but no indication of any shooting actually happening. Multiple people that were involved in the altercation were then detained. The investigation is ongoing to determine, if anyone is going to be charged. But officers did conduct an extensive sweep of the mall. They did not. They did find all the victims, and the investigation is ongoing. The officers have been monitoring the situation. They've been on the scene throughout much of the night. Obviously, a very busy time at the mall with a lot of people getting their last-minute holiday shopping done. But the public is not believed to be in any danger. That's the great news. This is all believed to have stemmed from just a large altercation, and there is not believed to be, a shooting or any kind of threat to the public. But of course, we're going to continue to follow all the breaking developments here on Atlanta News First Plus and all of our platforms. Okay, let's turn now to this story out of Atlanta, where police are investigating after a body was found inside of a burning car. Firefighters responded to the call on Wilson Avenue in northwest Atlanta this morning. Crews put out the fire and they found that the body was on the back seat. Police are now working to find out how the person died, and the victim has not been identified, but of course we're going to keep you up to date with any new developments on that. And we also want to let you know this is just days before Christmas, so really it's tragic, but more than 24 people have been displaced because of this apartment fire in Clayton County. Just earlier this morning, the Red Cross and volunteers from its Greater Atlanta chapter helped 7 different families, a total of 27 people who were displaced by the Archway apartments off of Roundtree Road in Riverdale. The volunteers went to the apartments to help coordinate emergency aid to folks affected, providing comfort kits, direct client assistance, recovery planning to the families to meet their disaster, their needs related to this disaster. It's truly tragic. Just days before Christmas, and we're going to have much more on this story coming up on Atlanta News First WANF, but sooner than that at 10 p.m. on Peachtree. Okay, now let's turn to this story, and Kennesaw police have now arrested a man for allegedly uploading photos of naked children to the internet. The FBI helped track down the suspect by tracing his IP address to a motel. Chelsea Beinfor has more.
This is the first case like this in a while that we've received a tip from the FBI.
This week, Kennesaw police got word from the Oklahoma City FBI office that a man accused of uploading naked photos of young girls may be lurking at a local motel.
They located this person at Superior Creek Lodge off of Cobb Parkway and obtained a search warrant and interviewed him and arrested him all on the same day.
Police took this guy, Paul Lee Smith, into custody. He's facing 4 counts of child sexual exploitation. According to an arrest warrant, the feds were already tracking an online gaming profile that turned out to belong to Smith when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tipped them off that someone had uploaded more explicit photos to the same account, this time depicting a naked girl between 12 and 14 years old.
It's every day, all the time. It's constant.
Jacinda Miller is the supervisor of the Violent Crimes Against Children unit with the Atlanta FBI office. She says her squad is constantly investigating tips and cases like this one, especially with the rise of social media.
Now, with the explosion of technology, these folks have the access to directly access juveniles or entice them. So it's a much easier game for them now than it was in the past.
According to a 2018 report from the United States Sentencing Commission, approximately 99.3% of child pornography offenders are men, and those sentenced to prison spend an average of about 104 months behind bars. Kennesaw police say following this case, they have a message for parents.
Make sure you're aware of who they're talking to, what they're uploading, if they're taking pictures of themselves. Be aware of what your child's doing and try to protect them and their innocence as much as you can.
Chelsea Beinfor, Atlanta News First.
The man is now being held at the Cobb County Jail. Police say that he could face 5 to 20 years in prison if convicted. All right, let's talk about those online reviews, because it is the holiday shopping season. A lot of people still trying to get those last minute deals or last minute Christmas presents. When you go to buy something online, you probably do take a look at the reviews first. I certainly do. But Better Call Harry warns you that not all reviews are actually real.
You may not want to believe it, but I've stopped relying on customer reviews, positive and negative, because I can't tell what's real or what's AI. There's even a market for businesses and sellers where they can buy their reviews. And what about paid reviews? Our expert says it happens all the time.
There's so much fakery out there. The problem is so much worse than most people are aware of. And now, with artificial intelligence entering the scene, the landscape is even more murky.
Kay Dean is a former federal investigator turned consumer advocate.
I'm here to tell you the online review world is the Wild West.
Her YouTube channel, Fake Review Watch, educates consumers and exposes violators.
And consumers and honest businesses are being harmed.
We talked to her in August when the Federal Trade Commission came out with a new rule that strengthened its ability to punish fake review offenders. It's a positive move, except for the loophole that gives third-party social media platforms like Instagram, Google, Yelp, and Facebook a pass. Reviews and ratings are everything to third-party sites. The verified reviews on Amazon add credibility, but Dean says some sellers know how to boost the numbers. Here's what Dean received after she bought a cell phone charger on Amazon. It happened last year, right before Christmas.
First-hand experience. I received this in the mail. I redacted the name after my purchase, asking me to leave a 5-star review, and then I would get a $15 Amazon card in exchange. And they asked me to take a picture of it and then email it to them. Of course, I did not.
For $15, a lot of people do write positive reviews, whether they like them or not.
Independent sellers on Poshmark, Etsy, Instagram, and TikTok rely on reviews. Personally, I'd rather see a video showing me the product and what it does. My go-to for major manufacturers is still the nonprofit online magazine Consumer Reports. You know what else is reliable? Friends, family, and neighbors. I'm Better Call Harry. Atlanta News First investigates.
All right, let's turn now to a look at the forecast with First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Look at how beautiful that is, Hartsfield Jackson.
It is.
It's like a little peppermint stick.
That's so festive of you. Such a festive opinion. Yeah, it's nice outside. It's cold, but it's clear. I know we've both kind of been out and about this evening and today. Sunshine, but it's cold.
Better than no sunshine and cold.
I know, could be worse. It could be,
that?
40 and raining, right?
That's true, absolutely.
And we do have some rain in the forecast. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment. First, though, it is about the cold this weekend. It is continuing to cool down outside. We briefly were in the upper 40s this afternoon, but now temperatures are continuing to tumble. The sun has set. The sky is clear, the air is dry. All of those ingredients really favor yet another quick tumble in temperature this evening. And a cold First Alert forecast out the door Monday morning. Of course, it is a Monday before Christmas and Hanukkah. A holiday week, so many folks have the day off. So maybe not as many commuters or folks that need to get out, first thing in the morning. Nonetheless, if you are one, it is going to be quite cold in the First Alert forecast out the door tomorrow morning. So do keep that in mind. We're not done with the cold just yet, even though we're talking about warmer weather and a slightly wetter transition in the First Alert forecast. Again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. I'm going to go ahead and shift gears from the latest news headlines with Joy Lim-Nakran over to the forecast now. And again, not bad, but cold. It may not be comfortable outside, but it is dry, and it's decent for any evening plans that you may have. Really a perfect night to go look at Christmas lights, whether that's in a neighborhood of yours or magical lights up in Woodstock. So many options. Botanical Garden as well. Temperature down to 42 at Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport. We just taking a look at the sky cam there a moment ago. Camera was still, no real breeze. The sky is clear. That's why we're seeing temperatures tumble so quickly this evening. In fact, Ellijay already back in the upper 20s. You were in the lower 20s earlier this morning. Some upper teens sprinkled in there in the highest of elevation. So Cold now, and it's only going to get colder. We're looking at a widespread hard freeze again tomorrow morning. Did not record a hard freeze this morning in the city of Atlanta. Our low was 30. We'll get that new climate report in, just the official numbers here in just a few moments. But outside of I-285, it was colder than that. Hard freeze is 28 degrees or colder for a span of, at least an hour or two. And we did have that in many spots earlier this morning, even if the city of Atlanta did not. Wesley Millsap is commenting. Glad that you're having good audio there. Glad you're able to hear Wesley, and hopefully everyone else streaming right now is able to hear. And again, we're chatting in two ways here. A lot of folks on YouTube right now. Atlanta News First is the account that we're streaming on. So if you're watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, even in the First Alert Weather app, one option, if you need a weather question addressed, is to go to Atlanta News First on YouTube, or you can text us. If you're watching on Roku, just pull out your phone, 470-777-WANF. That's 470-777-WANF. And all you have to do is text in your question, comment, concern, photo, video, whatever it may be. And I'm logging into the software that we use to make sure we capture those photos, those videos, during active weather, when there's something really visual going on, or, just your text, your questions. And right now we don't have any coming in, but I am chatting with a couple folks on YouTube. Good evening, Wesley. Again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. So as mentioned, it is going to be a cold night tonight, a frosty and cold start to our Monday. Frost is likely. Yesterday when I left the office, when I left Atlanta News First, it was about midnight or so, and there was already frost everywhere on the cars in the parking lot, and that's in West Midtown. Further outlying, thick frost developing probably already, and certainly we're going to wake up to some frosty conditions out the door in the morning. So if you do have an early call, an early arrival to the office, you parked outside, you may want to spend an extra minute or two getting that preheat on, getting the frost melted, or just a quick scrape. May take, 30 seconds, minute or so, because you want to make sure you have good visibility before you back out of the driveway. And I do think it'll be pretty frosty tomorrow morning. With a low temperature in many areas, mid to upper 20s, a hard freeze for many once again outside of I-285. We are also once again going for a forecast low temperature of 30 degrees at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. That is the official climate site for the city of Atlanta. So officially, even if most neighborhoods record a hard freeze, officially in the city, not forecasting a hard freeze to occur. Windshield weather, as mentioned, frost. You're going to be doing some scraping tomorrow morning, and really, tomorrow and this morning as well. And want to remind you that, yes, it's going to be a cold start tomorrow, but technically our warming trend begins tomorrow. Not a big jump up as we get into the afternoon compared to today, but technically a degree or two warmer is a safe bet. Still cooler than average. Temperatures back in the mid-50s, 55 for a high temperature. And that's the average, should say, the average high temperature. But we're forecasting 50 tomorrow, 48 in LJ, 46 in Helen, 48 in Athens, 51 in Eatonton, 52 in LaGrange. So upper 40s, lower 50s to the rule. It's chilly, and the sunshine may not feel as cold as the past couple of days. Nonetheless, it will be cooler than average tomorrow and still jacket-worthy on through the day with plenty of sunshine once again. Notice we don't bring a cloud into the forecast until later tomorrow evening. We're going to start to see some changes tomorrow. As mentioned, technically that warming trend begins tomorrow, but a more noticeable jump up in our temperature Tuesday, Christmas Eve, and also a few more clouds in the first alert forecast. There's two kind of signs of change, if you will, in the weather occurring at once. We're going to warm up, and we're going to get a few more clouds up in the sky, but your forecast remains dry in Atlanta on Christmas Eve. In fact, we can walk you hour by hour here and kind of expand that view, away from Atlanta. I'm going to bring this forward in time, of course, starting about now. Forecast model doing very well with our forecast. So here we are, 7 a.m. out the door Monday morning. Widespread 20s, maybe 30 or so in the city of Atlanta. By noon tomorrow, we're back in the low to mid-40s, so chilly but sunny lunch hour. Coats, jackets, maybe even the hat, still a good idea. Middle of the afternoon, we're reaching our peak temperatures, upper 40s to near 50, right around 3, maybe 3:30 or so in the afternoon. And you notice those clouds off to our south and east. Watch what happens as we get into Monday evening. Still dry for any family coming into town, anything that you're doing, or, just driving home from the office, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. It'll be cold, much like this evening, upper 30s and 40s by 8 p.m., but we're going to have some clouds sneak in from the south. Most of these clouds will be from Atlanta on south and east. There will be some clear sky as well, so temperatures still able to fall. It's not going to be a huge jump in that Monday night to early Tuesday morning, temperature. However, slightly milder, a few more clouds. Here we are, 8 a.m. out the door Tuesday, not cloudy, but more clouds compared to the complete sunshine we have had for the past, 48 hours or so after that front move through last week. Kind of late in the work week. By noon Tuesday, we're back to more sunshine, though, and also temperatures by noon already warmer than they were the entire day on Monday. So here's Christmas Eve, temperatures shooting up into the mid to upper 50s. Keep in mind, Ellijay yesterday stayed in the 30s. You'll be in the 50s by Tuesday, Christmas Eve afternoon. So we're warming up, and we also have, along with that warm-up, more moisture moving into the first alert forecast. Kind of a complicated setup. Did a long extended stream at 4:30 on this kind of tricky weather pattern. There are no first alert weather days at the moment, but certainly a few days that we are watching more closely as the first alert weather team. And if the forecast trends any stormier, any wetter, or anything like that, any more impactful in whatever way, we'll put on that first alert weather day, let you know that, hey, the weather could impact your plans. Wednesday, 30% chance of rain, 20% chance on Thursday. Friday, 30% chance of rain, 20% Saturday, and back to 40% Sunday. I will say the only day that has a little bit of consistency, and it's 7 days out and could very easily change, with a chance of scattered rain is Sunday. That's why we have that 40%. But of these days to watch, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, probably the three to keep a closer eye on, but data is very inconsistent. Case in point, some of the best tools in the toolbox that we have and use here in the First Alert Weather Center, the GFS model and then the ECMWF or European model. One says completely dry Christmas Day. The other does have a chance of spotty rain. So we're waiting for kind of the data to kind of get a better handle on the setup. It is a very tricky weather pattern, and we use our training as meteorologists combined with this data that we have and that we get to give you a proper and accurate forecast, but also with that advance notice that, hey, the forecast might change up just a bit. But for now, low-end rain chances Christmas Day. Thursday, day after Christmas, 55, kind of keeping it cool. Warmer than it has been, but I wouldn't call it warm. It's not 70s. It's not even mid to upper 60s. It will still be cool outside with more clouds in the forecast starting really Tuesday, but more so Christmas Day, and then off and on into the weekend after Christmas. We're going to continue to keep you updated. It doesn't look like we have any questions coming on YouTube. Again, if you just joined the chat, notice a few more folks just joined. We're streaming on Atlanta News First. That's the account we're streaming on. Also, you can text us at 470-777 WANF. That's 470-777-9263. But no new questions, comments, concerns on the YouTube stream, nor via text. So I think folks have a good handle on the forecast. Again, I think we will continue to get a better handle on the forecast and pass along updates well before Christmas Day. And if it does look like that rain chance is bumping up, if it looks like your plans could be impacted, we'll put on that first alert weather day just to give you that first alert or that heads up. Same difference, basically, in meaning. And we'll pass along those updates on streams like this one on Atlanta News First Plus, also on Atlanta News First and in the First Alert Weather app. Reminder, I'm going to join Joy Lim-Nakrin here in just a little bit. 10 p.m. on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be on time tonight. Atlanta News First on WANF, set to start at 11. Went on a few minutes late last night, but I'm also going to record a video if you can't stay up with us. Fresh forecast update, putting it in the First Alert Weather app as well. Daniel saying hello. Hello, Daniel. And DJ Rex saying it's 16 degrees outside in Philadelphia. Yeah, eastern United States, pretty chilly right now. We are not 16, DJ. In fact, I can bring current temperatures back up. By comparison, you all are oh so much colder than the city of Atlanta and surrounding areas, but it is still pretty chilly outside. In fact, here's the current temperature. Some are below freezing, much like you, just not as cold. With Ellijay at 29, below freezing, Helen 31, close to freezing in Carrollton, close to freezing in Athens. Both of you all will probably be there at the freezing mark, 32 or colder here within the next hour. So DJ Rec, yeah, it's cold up there now. Even up that far north, we'll get a little bit of a warm-up between Christmas and the New Year, and then maybe colder again as we flip past, January 1st. And then Daniel, hello to you. Thanks for tuning in and for watching. Reginald Hayes, hello to you. So it looks like we do have more folks joining. We're about 19, 20 minutes into this, but since we have some new folks joining in on Atlanta News First Plus streaming on YouTube, If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, again, if this is your first time watching, Daniel's in Gainesville, Georgia. Gainesville is in the upper 30s right now, a little warmer, closer to the lake. But it is still cold. 38 is still cold, and I'm willing to bet, Daniel, if you went outside and you looked at the top of your car, if you're parked outside in Gainesville, probably already noticing some frost forming. I was leaving the office, leaving Atlanta News First here in West Midtown in Atlanta proper yesterday evening about midnight, already thick frost on all the cars, especially the roofs of the cars. So, Daniel, hello to you. DJ, I don't know if you're excited about the warmer weather or wish it would stay that cold, but you're going to have another, cold couple mornings and then a little warmer Christmas and beyond. DJ was born and raised in Woodstock. Okay, awesome to hear. So from Woodstock to Philadelphia, big differences and a lot colder up that 95 way. Thanks for tuning in and for watching, though. DJ, don't know if you're in town, maybe visiting family for the holiday. Busy week, big travel week for so many across the country. So we might have some new audience members, new folks streaming. If this is your first time, whether it's DJ, Daniel, Reginald, or I know Wesley's a pretty fervent viewer, this is Atlanta News First Plus. This is a digital stream from Atlanta News First, WANF, local CBS affiliate in Atlanta, but serving almost all of North Georgia, Clay County, North Carolina, and Cleburne and Randolph counties in East Alabama. You can see it on the temperature map there next to me, and it is pretty chilly outside at the moment and getting colder almost, feels like by the moment, but at least every hour. So we're losing a degree or two as the sun has set, of course, a few hours ago at this point. And the setup is really there for a cold start to our Monday. Daniel saying when it snows today, but school is not canceled. So Daniel is in Gainesville, Georgia. No snow in the forecast for Gainesville, no snow in the forecast for Atlanta, no snow in the forecast for North Georgia, at least for the foreseeable, forecastable future. DJ Rex saying, I'm in town now here in Atlanta with my family. Well, glad you're there. Hopefully you had a wonderful trip, a safe trip. And glad you are not 16, you are in the mid-upper 30s. If you hate the cold, that's certainly a little bit better. And another YouTube commenter saying they are in ATL, being a little saucy on the YouTube stream, saying fake Atlanta. No, we're all real here. Giving you the real forecast, the real heads up at what's coming. And this evening, overnight tonight, Monday, day before Christmas Eve, it's just plain old cold, but lots of sunshine. Pretty day. This weekend has been really pretty, in my opinion. It's just been cold. But you bundle up, you still enjoy the sunshine. And the fact that we're heading into the holiday week, Hanukkah and Christmas, so many things going on. It is not a bad time to get outside. You just have to make sure you have that extra layer, too. Get yourself a little snowflake sweater or something. It's not bad. And the weather will actually warm back up a little bit. We're going to bring out that first alert 7-day forecast now. For everyone that is streaming on YouTube, the big question mark, and it's kind of plural here, question marks, is exactly how much does an area of low pressure, kind of a slow-moving storm system well to our west, how much does it influence our local weather? Forecast models having trouble deciding that, and it is a tricky setup. I think at some point the weather will turn a little wetter. Certainly we're going to have more clouds in the forecast and it'll get a little bit warmer, but timing out when rain could impact those plans still very sketchy, to put it simply. Daniel says, what will happen if the degree drops in Gainesville? Well, temperatures are going to continue dropping in Hall County and Gainesville. You're going to wake up to a freeze tomorrow morning. Nothing you can't handle, nothing you haven't already seen several times this winter. Fall, now officially winter. But, Daniel, it's just going to be a plain old cold morning out the door in Gainesville tomorrow. Hall County, cold but pretty morning on Lake Lanier. Good morning to just enjoy some, hopefully, free time tomorrow morning. Hopefully not having to report to work. Enjoying that cup of coffee, tea, whatever it is you have in the morning, and just looking out on a beautiful Lake Lanier, or whatever your view is. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty morning, just a cold morning, and I do think that frost will only make it look prettier. Hopefully you do have a yard, you can view out, get that vantage point. Probably be sunny and cold, almost surely, and probably will be quite a bit of frost out the door in the morning. And for everyone streaming, before we sign off, want to remind you that we will continue to keep you updated, even if you can't catch our next Atlanta News First Plus stream. With the First Alert Weather app, again, if you search Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather, Reginald, Daniel, DJ Rec, Wesley Millsap, though I think Wesley already has the app. Forecast video updates like the one up top right there. Current temperatures for Gainesville. I know we've had viewers in East Point. Had someone earlier from the southeast side up in Woodstock. DJ is streaming from. And, of course, Daniel in Gainesville, you can customize your location. You get the forecast updates from the team, but you also get that neighborhood really down to your almost street level at times forecast with alerts for rain's arrival, lightning's arrival. Not that we're expecting any of that next couple of days, but you can get those alerts if you turn them on in the First Alert Weather app. It's a free download, easy download, and a really good tool to have on a busy week that we're heading into, much like this one. We have the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, others as well, and it's also a weekend if you aren't celebrating either, and it's just a week off of school for your kiddos, or maybe you have some free time off of work and you're just taking the opportunity to travel. And want to thank you all for watching, for streaming. It looks like the comments are slowing down. Want to also wish you, Wesley Millsap does have the A&F weather app. Good to hear. Thanks for the download. Want to wish everybody a wonderful evening, a great work week. Reminder, Joy Lim Nakron and I will be on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW at 10 p.m. Full newscast, new data coming in by then. I don't think there are going to be any huge changes to the forecast, but we'll still walk you through what the newest data says and give you that first alert forecast starting at 10 p.m. and then back on at Atlanta News First on WANF at 11 p.m. Thank you for tuning in and for watching. About to record a video, much like what we have discussed here. It is looking ahead to the new week. We'll talk about the chance of rain and that cold start to your Monday in the First Alert Weather app. I'll have that in the app here within the next 10 minutes.